Good afternoon. Welcome to Dante's Den. It is the sort of relaxed portion of a Dante production, and it's where we meet to talk with the artists of a Dante. And my name is LD Robinson. I am the owner of Ladero Design Works, and we do the website and social media for Dante. And I am joined this afternoon by, I should say, with Mr. Chauncey Dunham, who is the owner of Dante Production, and artist Flo Logan. Welcome, Chauncey and Flo.
Hi.
Thank
We're
you.
so glad to have you in the den today. And before we get started, I'm going to ask Mr. C, is there anything you would like to say? What's going on with Adante? What's new?
We're on the drawing boards. The proposal is 90% finished for the city of Daytona for their summer concerts. Because of some management changes in Stonewood, that is on hold right now. And we are going back to the Ormond Beach Performing Arts Center.
Fantastic.
Plus,
Are you excited about doing the music for the summer?
It's a lot of political maneuvering and a lot of paperwork. And I don't think I've had time to get excited yet about the music because we have to do the lineup as to who's performing which weekends. And the city of Daytona has to decide which location they want to use. And all of the artists are pretty much ready and waiting.
Fantastic. Well, we know you have a wonderful lineup there. If everyone had a chance to visit us at Stonewood here, you got a chance to see Chris Clark and crew. And that was certainly a most entertaining third Saturday jazz wine and dine, right? It was fantastically and richly done between the four of them in that band. So the city of Daytona is certainly in for a treat this summer with the artists of Adante. And so we are here with Flo Logan, who returns to Adante, and we want to say welcome, Flo.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're excited. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and when did you first decide you want to be a singer? When did you know that singing was something you had to do?
Well, you grew up singing in the choir, so I never thought anything of it. To be honest with you, I didn't think I would be a singer, but I remember some years back, maybe 10, 15 years back, I had an experience, a spiritual experience, and I was told that I would be singing around the world. You sing in the shower, you sing in your house, but again, singing professionally, in the beginning wasn't something that I thought that I would be doing. But I had a very good friend of mine she's a pastor. I remember she spoke over me and she said, "You're going to be singing around the world." And I said, "All righty then." So, you start the process and you begin to hone your skills because you certainly don't just walk out there and go, "I'm singing." But that's when you start honing your skills and falling down, making mistakes, getting it right, voice lessons, the whole nine.
That's cool. So why don't you tell us, where did you grow up and what did you like about growing up?
I grew up in Halifax County, Virginia, and my roots there are very strong. We were a village of people that raised other kids other than our moms raising us. So we were a very tight knit community. Um, my grandmother was, she belonged to a slave owner, and she ended up getting the house on a particular plantation that we grew up on. And it was just a lot of rich history there. I remember being a cheerleader all my life. That's what I knew to do. I always liked things with rhythm, and I was in the band, and we would dance and sing in front of people when they would come to visit my grandmother and my mom. We performed for them. So I suppose it was always in my blood. But Halifax County, Virginia is where I grew up.
So we have here, you told us in your bio that you wrote a book, Remember What I Told You, written based on a letter to your siblings after the death of your mother. How special is that book to you as not only as a daughter, but as an artist? What lessons have you taken from your mother that you use as an artist?
My mom and my grandmother were full of idioms and cliches, like you can't buy love, or you always treat people better, or treat people the way that you want to be treated, especially if they're in your home. And it's just so many. I'm sure some more come to the top of my head, but the one that you can't buy love, I use that quite often in this business, because you sometimes run into situations where you want to be accepted, but sometimes you're not. And you certainly don't want to buy your way into that. You want people to see who you are, and not fake or phony just to be a part of something. So I always keep that in my heart. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to let people see who I am. And if I'm accepted, great. If not, then this wasn't my crew that I'm supposed to be running with.
That's always a lesson to learn, right? It's one I learned in seventh grade, or maybe I was in sixth. I knew I was in middle school, and it has preserved me probably from quite a few things, known and unknown. That lesson of maybe this is not my crew.
Right. Yeah.
And you can't buy love, you can't buy friendship. You can buy company, but you can't buy love, and you can't buy friendship.
Right.
Those have to be genuine. So talk to us a little bit about what you sing. What genre do you sing? And why that genre? And what attracts you to it?
Well, I started with the genre of gospel, but I've taken that genre and I've allowed R&B to bleed into it. I'm an advocate of gospel music can sound good and you can dance to it and still praise him at the same time. It's all his music anyway. So that's where I am now. I have recently been asked to sing backup for rock music, pop music. And at first I thought, but it all originated from R&B. So I'm like, okay, let's don't close it off. See what this is about. So I've learned so much from singing background to that type of music. There's a guy by the name of Jack Smink, and he is so very talented. He started out as an Elvis impersonator. And, I mean, if you close your eyes and just listen to some of his music, you would swear you're in the room with Elvis. I mean, there's just no mistaking about it. But he has so much more than that. So me and another young lady by the name of Jamala Scott, who Chauncey knows, she sings with me quite often. She's an artist in her own right, but she sings with me quite often as a backup vocalist. So we're back in Jack Up, and that has opened up a whole new arena of knowledge about the music industry for us. But my heart and my love is gospel and R&B.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's very interesting that when we hear a lot of R&B artists and even rock, that we hear those tones of gospel, that gospel heritage, everything from riffs and screams and, all the other stuff that comes with, that we are used to hearing in gospel music. They're very rich. The very rich musical nature of gospel, from the instruments to the music to the sounds. Gospel sounds different all across the board. And I think it's always when I hear songs from other genres and I think, yeah, she sang in a church.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, they go, yeah, she's saying in the church. So I have a question for Chauncey.
Yes.
At Dante, you have a wide range of artists. You have, there are artists who sing, doo-wop. There are artists that sing R&B. You have bands that play and there may be no singing. You have bands that play and sing, and you have a whole range. How is it for you as an owner of a music production company to know, what does it feel like to know that you have an artist that literally can meet any event need?
That's an extremely difficult question. You would be surprised at some of the things I look at. Something as simple as I want to do a show with the sun setting, and I'm going to do it outside. So I had a conversation last week with Mark Swartz, who is the manager of Ormond Beach Performing Arts Center, which has a beautiful outside settings with a waterfall. And I was just trying to decide, do I do all instruments? Do I do instruments and vocals? Do I do jazz? So it depends on the venue, the setting, and the mindset that I'm in at that time. Yesterday, I went and sat by the ocean and watched the water. And I came home and put some new things on the drawing board based on what hit me just sitting there watching the water. Mm-hmm. So it varies. There is no set pattern. A lot of it is 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up and think of something and get on the computer and put it down. So we don't have a set pattern. Flo coming back added a whole new dimension because of her versatility. Mm-hmm. So that gives me some ideas on some more things that I can do. The hard job is watching everybody's schedule. Now that's the job, because all the artists have the ability to perform elsewhere, not just with me. Mm-hmm. So there are times when I have to be considerate of the month, the day in the month, the time of day, and find out what their schedule is like so I can put it into their schedule. Like Daytona came up with, they want me to look at every second Saturday. Hunt House wants me to look at every third Saturday. So those are the things we look at. There's no set formula, really.
I think it's very interesting having been able to participate with Dante over this past year. just listening to the different artists, the different music, everything that comes forth. I mean, the commitment of the artists to really give their best. And it is very interesting to have yet another talent come aboard who is also so versatile and talented. Everything from singing and songwriting and authoring and voiceovers, you come kind of total package, Flo, if you will.
Okay.
What does it mean to you as an artist to have so many things that you can sort of pick from in order to express your creativity?
The wonderful thing about it is for each segment or sector, I have go-to people like when I need to understand the administrative side of it, because I may be functioning in an administrative role. I can go to Chauncey. He's helped me so much as far as pulling things together, and even something as simple as it may sound simple to other people, but no, you want your backup vocalist to stand here and you want to be here. Or Brendan Paradis, who produces my music and engineers my music, he helps me with. Well, we want to make sure we have the drums coming in at this time, and I mean that with every sector or segment that I have to deal with, I've been blessed to be able to speak to people to help me, because you can't do it all by yourself. For instance, with the last song that we did, which is the first song on the soundtrack for the movie that I'm producing, I had a professional choreographer come in. Her name is Bianca Rodriguez. Well, she dances for the Orlando Magic. I don't know if you saw the video, but she did 2/3 of the choreography. I did 1/3, she did 2/3. But it was the most simple thing, because when we were actually recording the video, we couldn't figure out why I was one step to the right after that particular segment of the dance was done. But she's, oh, no, no, you need to bring your right foot in when you turn. I'm like, okay. See, it's important to have people around you, number one, that's got your back, and number two, that know what they're doing. So with all of what you named, I have been blessed to have people that I can go to help me, which makes me function better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am really excited. I haven't, apart from watching your video, I am excited to see you live. I am truly excited. I have not been disappointed, and I am expecting that this is going to be absolutely wonderful with having you back at a Dante. From an artist's perspective, why do you sing?
Because I've been through so much, and that emotion needs to come out, and that's how I get through the day. If I didn't sing, you may as well just lock it up, throw me away. That's how I get it out. That's how I function.
Are you one of those people you burst into song, no matter what you're doing?
All the time. I mean, I have to catch myself because I have a day
even
job.
on the telephone with me.
My mom sings, and we always tease. She might burst into song while she's talking to you on the phone. Songs just might come out.
Yeah.
Singing while you're cooking, singing while you're driving.
While I'm walking my dog.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's something for a heart for worship is important, and There is no set time to say thank you, right? There's no set time to say I love you. It would feel pretty odd if you were married and you only got told I love you at 6 p.m. every day, right?
Right.
You're like, you don't think about saying that to me any other time? 6 p.m. every day, I'm gonna let you know that I love you.
That's so robotic.
No spontaneity, I think a singer is someone who is intrinsically, inherently spontaneous
Mhm.
because music blossoms, can blossom from anything, right?
That's right.
And I think it's just I'm really looking forward to it. So tell us a little bit about this movie and soundtrack that you're writing, backed by popular demand.
Yes, it's about the second coming of Christ, but
Mhm.
it's modern day, and it has a lot of true events in it that I went through in order to do the film. Oftentimes we think that, so I won't get myself in trouble. Oftentimes we think that when we go to a certain side of the house, as far as Christianity is concerned or spirituality,
Mhm.
that it's safer over there.
Yes.
But that is not the case. No. So I want people to see that just because you consider yourself to be a Christian, it doesn't mean that you all of a sudden become this person that, oh, I'm, Miss Goody Two Shoes. I don't ever do anything wrong. It is not that way at all. And I want people to see that you can still be yourself and, still be a Christian. It's okay.
Mhm.
There's some things that, you won't do anymore or whatever, but, for the most part, be who God called you to be.
Mhm.
Um, and then, we show the dark side of people who um, probably don't understand and need to know how to enter that realm of spirituality. So it's not just a Bible type movie. This is
Uh-huh.
real life. We got pimps in there. We have prostitutes in there. We have um, gamblers in there. We have Miss Goody Two Shoes in there. So and again, I would, most of it is based on a true story. So I believe that there's something in there for everybody. People will identify with what's in there.
What's it like to write a soundtrack?
Well, actually, I wrote the soundtrack for a short film, Christmas Time. Wait a minute. That is not a true statement. I chose the music for the soundtrack for Christmas Time is Here, along with the music that I wrote and Brendan Paradis helped me produce. But what's it like to write the soundtrack? It is the most exciting thing I've ever experienced. It's crazy. It's nervous. It's, oh my God. It's me running around. Oh, I got my phone right here because I'll remember a note and I'll record it. We got the first one done. I'm like, okay, the next one is we walk by faith and not by sight. And I see the image of the scene, and I've already got the melody in my head, and I already have the composer who can take what's in my head and put it in music. That's exciting. And I'm telling you, I'm having a ball.
That is a great undertaking. When I
Yeah.
read that you were writing the soundtrack, I'm like, that is amazing because I've always been fascinated by a lot of things, but by the ability to be creative to the point that you develop music for a movie. That knowing what, and I guess it's much like being a singer, knowing what evokes emotion between what people are visually seeing and what they're hearing, and tying those two together to get the emotion that you want them to feel for what's coming next. So hats off to you. And may it go well, because it sounds like fun, but it also sounds like quite the challenge.
Yeah,
Quite the challenge.
it'll be a total of 5 songs on the soundtrack, and we'll have to do some fillers. But to get those 5 songs out there, that's all right too.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So, I'm going to ask Mr. Dunham if there's anything he would like to. We're going to add him back. Is there anything you would like to ask Flo?
A few years ago, Flo left us. She went to Hollywood and scared me half to death because I didn't know whether she was coming back or not. She was starting to launch her movie career. And I'm like, I just got you. You leaving me already? But fortunately enough, she came back, and she has been getting up to speed on the things that have happened to us. So she's attended a couple of the shows to see what goes on with us. And I'll tell her something that I have not told her yet. And that is, her band is waiting to start rehearsing with her to make sure that they are on point for everything she does. Yes. Close your mouth, Flo.
Yes. Oh, that's a great help. Yes.
She asked me, please get her a band, and I said, okay, you got it. So they're waiting. Rehearsal start next week.
Oh, great. Let's do it.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we always like to end our interviews in Dante's Den with a question for all the artists and musicians who join us. Of course, musicians are artists. And that is, Flo, if there were a musician or an artist, a singer, dead or alive, that you would like to meet, who is it and why?
Does it have to be one?
It can be multiple.
Okay. Definitely Aretha Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her tone, the richness of her tone, the way she belts, her runs, her intonations. Man, I tell you, when I sing some of her songs, I can hear her in my ear, and it just helps me to deliver the song better.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear her saying, "Take it up, Flo, take it up"?
Yeah. Yes. And then James Brown. I mean, I finally know what on the one means. So, I mean, the way he was able to command the band.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing to watch. We'll watch clips of him now, and it helps me understand how he interacts with the band. I've never seen anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Prince is good, Michael Jackson is good, but I'm pretty sure they got a lot from James Brown.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
And then, lastly, Chaka Khan. She adds that funk in there, you know. So, yeah, those 3. There's more, but that's the top 3.
I like.
I tell the young singers, I tell them, yes, do your vocal warm-ups, but for your vocal workout, if you want a vocal workout, Gladys Knight, learn her songs, Aretha Franklin, do some James Brown, do some Chaka Khan, do Anita Baker. That'll give you a vocal workout like nobody else.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. In the words of my colleague Donna M. Banks, that is indeed a pearl of wisdom. That, folks, is an artist's pearl of wisdom right there. There is a difference between vocal warm ups and a vocal workout. And certainly, that crew, that list is worthy.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. C, is there anything else?
I'd like to address the audience with one thing.
Mhm.
I was told several weeks ago that I look up a lot. And for people that want to know why, because I have a 50-inch screen up there and I can watch this on the big screen. So that's why I look up. I was also asked why I always wear a hat. And the reason I wear a hat is because I'm in my den. I can wear whatever I want as long as I'm dressed.
Well, there you have it.
So don't call me.
We do say
So
it
there
is
you have
Dante's did, so that works for me.
I did. Behind me is Whitney Houston and B. Smith. And over there I have Aretha. So I have paintings of all the singers. And in front of me, Flo, you're up here in front of me. And that'll get hung tomorrow.
Alrighty then.
I know. Can't keep track of what goes on in my den.
Well, we are so happy to have you back with a Dante Flow. And may your tenure with a Dante be as fabulous and as rich and as full as that wonderful fro you've got going on.
Thank you.
may you belt as the beautiful singer that you are, and do well with a Dante.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. My name is LD Robinson, and you have been watching Dante's Den. It is part of a Dante production. It is where we talk with the artists of ADP, and I have been in the den this afternoon with singer Miss Flo Logan and owner of a Dante production, Mr. Chauncey Dunham. We invite you to follow us online via social media at a Dante Production. We are on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and on Facebook. And you can also follow Dante's Den on YouTube on Dante's Den, our YouTube channel. We're excited about what's going on in a Dante Production. If you are in need of some musical entertainment and you want some of the very finest that Central Florida and North Central Florida has to offer, call a Dante Production. And you can reach a Dante by going to their website at adanteproduction.com. We hope everyone has a good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Do something fun. It's sunny here in Florida after raining really hard this morning my way. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us for Dante's Den. Have a good afternoon. Thank you, everybody.
You.
Bye-bye.